Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about the best things that you can do for leveling with Miss Pandaria and the starting zone that you are going to be going into. Now, depending where you go, this is going to change quite a bit, and there are quite a few strategies that I want to talk about and dive into when you head in there. That way you do not end up wasting a ton of time like I did. I quested from level 85 to 90 the entire way on my monk. It took me about 20 hours roughly, and that was with all of the launch issues, the Jade Forest being completely and utterly unplayable at launch. And I just wanted to share a few tips and tricks to that, so then you guys do not make the same mistakes that I did with that. So when you go into either Jade Forest, it's been this way for every single night since launch at peak hours. Too many people are going there, and it's causing you to get almost unplayable levels of lag and be unable to really get into the server or the zone. And like spells like spitting crane kick, flying serpent kick, roll, like they're on like 3-5 second delays, and they just send you flying. It has gotten quite a bit better in Jade Forest. However, that lag that I'm talking about has now moved to Town Long Steps and Dread Waste, because everyone's there doing their dailies, doing their quests, doing their in-game content. All the sweaty people, at least. Obviously, if you're more casual, you might run into this during the peak hours. But my best advice is, when that happens, queue for dungeons, whether it's for XP, whether it's for gear. Regardless of why you are queuing for that dungeon, make sure that you get out there and you go and do it, because you do not want to just sit there and suffer. And it does suck, but by queuing for dungeons, you're able to earn a lot of gear, you're able to earn a lot of rewards, and you're able to earn so many things that will progress your character, and it'll be a much more enjoyable experience. That's what I did on launch. I saw that everyone was getting stuck at the shore. I actually went and did Crucible of Carnage in Twilight Highlands to open up, then turned in my Toll Broad, and then 10 minutes later, everyone was still stuck on the boat. Endless DCs. It just really wasn't working for people. So I made the choice, and I got some goodies together. We did some dungeons for an hour or two. We started to hear it was good, but it was not good. So we stopped doing that. I wish I would have kept dungeoning. And so my strategy then was to get 86 and stop all Jade Forest questing completely. And then after I finished the Jade Forest questing, I went straight to the Valley of the Four Winds, because a lot of the quests there open at 86. When you're leveling, there isn't much that is super important rep-wise for level 85, 86, 87. When you're 86, you want to make sure you stop by Half Hill and start your farm with the tillers, but that's about it. Start growing 2 carrots and 1 scallion so you can unlock the quests when you hit 90 and get after it, but that's really all you need to do there. And then you also want to make sure at 87 you go to the Temple of the White Tiger, and you go and unlock the Veil. But those are really the only things you need to do. You can literally quest in Jade Forest, you can quest in Valley, you can quest in Karasang Wilds, you can quest in Kunlai Summit from 85 to 87. It does not matter. There isn't too meaningful reps there. But the moment that you hit 88, whether you are monkey running or dungeon stuff, which we'll talk about the dungeon path later, but you want to go to Town Long Steps and do the Town Long Steps quest. These quests are very, very rewarding in the sense that they allow you to get a ton of Shadow Pan rep, which will yield you a lot of really, really good rewards. And honestly, I did the entire zone, would highly recommend. It actually took me 3 hours to go from 88 to 89, and it was my fastest level, literally just doing all the quests here, because it's such a tight niche area where you just get to blast quest after quest after quest, and it is really quick. You can also do the quests that take you to the Shadowpan pullback here, and sort of the entry with Eastwind Rest, or whatever the Alliance gets. I'm speaking from a Horde perspective, but you can do like 5 or 6 quests here, and then they tell you to go to the Shadowpan fallback. You do that, you're 88, it'll take you to Winter's Blossom, you fight at the gate, then you go to Townlong Steps, or you can go straight to Townlong Steps, but this gives you a lot of Shadowpan rep, which is super important. Then the next thing I would highly recommend that you do, no matter how you get there, is when you are 89, you come here and do everything with the Claxi. The Claxi reputation is another great reputation that will give you a lot of rewards when you hit in-game. And so focusing those 2 reputations at 88 and 89 are very, very good leveling tips, and that's why these 2 zones are really laggy right now as people approach that in-game. And so while it might suck to do a dungeon there, the dungeons give good rewards and good XP, and every single dungeon in MoP has quests that you can go and do. Now, that is the sort of questing path and tips and tricks that you guys should watch out for. If you are going to do the dungeon running, what you should do is do what's called monkey runs at Stormstout Brewery. I talked quite a bit about that in my launch, what I'm doing at launch video, and showed off a full monkey run. If you don't know by now, there are plenty of people doing it. You pretty much go into the beginning of Stormstout Brewery and kill all the Hosen monkeys for a ton of XP. So that's essentially what you're going in there to do and getting after it. And then that yields somewhere, if done properly, I've seen some people get 10 million XP an hour. So that's like a level or 2 every hour. Then that only takes you up to 87 for best XP. What you should do is from 87, like I said, Temple of the White Tiger, unlock the Veil. It doesn't take that long. But then you go to Mogashan Palace and do the dungeon there. Here in the Vale right here, it is Mogashan Palace. You go here and you do Mogashan Mogu runs, and that is the best XP. And then you hit 87, like I said, 88 and 89. You really should do Townlong Steps, but you can stay at the Mogashan Palace and grind that XP here in the Vale if you so choose to. But it, like I said, it's just something, it's your choice. You will get faster XP doing that. However, there are a lot of reputations and quests that you should unlock, and it is really beneficial, but it's not necessarily required to do. Like here in the Jade Forest, you're either befriending the Hosen or the Pearlfin Village, but like you don't actually have to do that. Completing the entire story will get you exalted with them. My monk is exalted with the Hosen here at Groken Hill, but there isn't really that crazy rewards that you get for allying with these native races here on Azeroth. So you're not really going to get anything too special from it, but it is something to do if you enjoy sort of the story and stuff like that. But like I said, Jade Forest, Valley of the Four Winds, Kerosing Wilds, Kunlai Summit, 85 to 88, does not matter. Then Townlong Steps and Dread Waste for those reputations. But those are all the leveling tips and everything that I have seen and some of the mistakes I made going through there. I think if you were to really lock in and blast the quest, especially once you have flying on an ult, I think you could do it in 12 to 15 hours. I haven't tried it yet. I'll probably do my Paladin that way and just see how fast I can get it. I'm going to do Kerosing Wilds and Kunlai Summit because I did Jade Forest, Valley of the Four Winds, Townlong and Dread. Townlong and Dread you're going to do on every single character for those reps because you just simply have to. Here in Miss of PanDAILYA, as I'm going to call it, because you got to do a ton of dailies. But anyway, guys, those are my leveling tips, tricks, helpful things that you can learn from and do, so that way you do not end up in the same boat as me and really struggle for leveling. So anyway, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, anything you'd like to add, definitely drop it down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hey you. Yes you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.